Nwabueze, market performance today?
Well, details of the market closing is not yet available, but I guess the market is following the same trend and ending slightly weaker. That's our expectation for the market today. It's been a slightly bearish market for the start of the week, and we expect that will continue into the holiday season and afterwards.
Let's talk about the Naira, the area of your expertise. What we had seen during the course of the week is the Naira weakening somewhat against the dollar, trading somewhere in the region of 152 Naira 85 to the dollar. And it's largely due to the fact that there's tight dollar supply within the market. What's the situation now?
Well, expectedly, I think it was a bit on that, and a bit of speculative activities also on the back of CBN closure for the year. But outside of that, significant inflows of dollar liquidity coming into the markets are starting to put some support on the Naira. And we've seen the Naira actually trading back from the highs of 155 levels up to 152 levels at which it closed today. It's expected that we'll see the Naira actually gaining as business lists finally wind down for the holiday, and teen demand would actually support the Naira in lieu of the fact that we're having some inflows coming into the market.
Let's talk about AMCON under the spotlight at the moment. They've now finally announced their blueprint as to how they're going to enter the market, how they're going to be selling what they call consideration bonds, and what they're going to be doing in the market. Initially, AMCON will be issuing bonds of 500 billion Naira, moving onwards to the 3 trillion that's needed to soak up the bad debts. What do you make of all of this?
Well, I mean, in terms of the general structure of AMCON, I think it's been a fair representation of what on how to go about treating these debts on the bank's books. We take a look starting from the valuation method. I think the valuation method is based mostly market driven in terms of getting the fair price of the non-performing loans and the various categories of loans that they're actually working on. I think that's a good start. The issue of consideration bonds before finally issuing our bonds that actually will be registered on the exchange, that's another good deal in the bid to ensure that this non-performing loans are taken off the bank's book by the end of this year. I think within the time frame that they propose to do it, it's also a good deal for now. In terms of the bonds coming into the market next year, I think well, we tend to might see a bit of crowding into the early part of the year as AMCON begin to issue the bonds and those securities are expected to be tradable. But on the general theme, I think it actually brings the much needed stability and the much needed confidence into the banking industry, and also especially for the rescued banks to bring some level of relief on their balance sheet to enable the banks actually begin their core function of lending. On the general whole, I think it's a green light. I think it's a good thing. I think following through these various strategies and points that they've actually outlined will be what we actually watch out to see.